My name is Johnston. I'm the e-business marketing manager at Volvo Construction Equipment. We sell heavy construction equipment in the categories of compact products, general purpose equipment, and road paving equipment. Volvo has been in the business of selling construction equipment through our dealers for many years. We knew that we had a challenge being that the many marketing efforts that we had were separate, and we needed a way to consolidate those efforts to make them a little bit more fluid and to drive them automatically to the right dealer based off of the right product and the right service and the fastest turnaround time as we could do. It was a challenge because, again, we have many contracts with our dealers and those relationships change over time. So what we needed to do was to find a solution that was fluid, that could work with our many systems that we already had in place. We needed to consolidate those data sources into a central point, and we need to make it simple for us to use, to grow into, as well as to make it easy for our dealers to use as well. When it comes to looking at a solution, what we did was we actually did a case study. And during that case study, we evaluated all of our needs, some of which we were going to solve in the short term, some of which we're going to solve in a long-term fashion. When evaluating all those needs, we documented all those and included a focus group to help us out in that process. Once we identified what could be the solutions that we needed in the future, we absolutely identified what were the priorities and then reviewed several options. Some of the solutions were custom made, some of them were out-of-the-box solutions. What we ended up doing was evaluating what we could meet our needs as soon as possible in a cost frame that met our overall budget, but more importantly, that was simple to use, simple for us to train the users in the Volvo organization as well as our dealer organization. And then after that, we wanted to go ahead and take a look and see how could we roll this out in a time frame that was not too prolonged. Now, after that, we took a look at several competitors. Microsoft Dynamics CRM was one of the products that we evaluated, and when it came down to the fact there were several features within Microsoft that we enjoyed. The workflow automation, using a database that we could integrate easily with other systems to import and export to our dealers was absolutely critical. Then several of the features that were out of the box, like the advanced find and the Dynamics Excel features, were really critical for us in our ultimate decision-making process. When we finally decided, okay, we're going to go down the road of Microsoft Dynamics CRM, there were a couple things that came into play that finally solidified the process, and that was the ease of customization. The ability for us to take this and grow it over time without having to develop so much all at once. And more importantly, the ability to work with vendors out there that were already in place with great solutions without us having to develop everything right by ourselves. Okay. So when it was time for us to implement our product, one of the things that we did was we evaluated the needs and utilized a focus group, not only of our dealers, but end customers and our internal employees. By using that focus group, we were able to prioritize everything that we really needed to start with, and then others that we could grow with too in the future. Partner selection was very important. There were already some partners that we already had in place, and we were proud to see that a lot of those partners would already integrate almost seamlessly right into the project. We looked around at several vendors. We ultimately decided to use Customer Effective as an implementation vendor. And then using that vendor, they guided us. They used their industry experience to say, this works, here's some suggestions to make it better, and ultimately to come to us and consult us to make it an implementation that basically went without a hiccup. So once we started with the implementation project, what we found was we wanted to continue with our focus group. Using their feedback was important for us because, again, there's some things that worked and others that we changed to make the whole project better. Adding extra data to our system basically gave a 360-degree view of the lead process. So it's not just a lead, but it's this extra information that complements the lead. These are things that our dealers and our salesmen felt was very important to the project. By adding these things, adding the important speed of delivery of the leads, the dealers and the salesmen have been able to close a lot more leads faster, and we as a manufacturer were able to get a lot more feedback in a much more speedier time. The closing rate of our leads have increased as far as the reporting, and more important, the buy-in from our dealers has increased dramatically compared to our previous lead efforts. You know, the thing about any CRM project is it's never going to stop. You're always going to find the next thing that you can take and add into the project that will help you as a manufacturer, you as a dealer, or ultimately to the customer, because you want to be able to use it for both as a sales tool and as a marketing tool. As we move forward, there are some great possibilities we can add into the system, specifically with new features in CRM 2011 that we're going to be working with. We've evaluated several vendors here at the conference, and some of which we might be using in the future. I won't tell you which one yet. But the thing is that as we continue to use this and as we continue to grow this project, you'll see new features that the dealers are asking for, some that the manufacturers are asking for, and ultimately will make this tool better in the long run. For anyone out there that is evaluating a CRM project, the first and most important thing I could say is to document your needs. You know, having those is the most important thing that you have there, because this project can grow way out of proportion. The problem is that most people don't do that. With Microsoft CRM and many other systems out there, they have this much they can do, but in reality, focus on what's important for you. The second thing, ask. Ask vendors, ask partners, ask people who use the system right now. That's going to be what will make you very productive and make the project succeed, because you will now find out what they have already learned. You don't have to go through that process. And finally, the most important thing, take your time and evaluate it. Work with vendors out there that can help you in that process.